Great.
Man, someone would say, what's the beginning, or as they say in the superhero movies, the origin. And I must tell you, something I didn't look forward to was becoming a chameleon. Now that I look back, I've been so many different people. It's like when I was a little kid, the first thing that excited me was seeing Bruce Lee. So all of a sudden I wanted to take karate. I got swords. I think I made it all the way up to my brown belt, but it took me years. I would stop and quit again because that was the first thing that was like I was infatuated by the jumping up and down and into the dragon and, when he got cut and stuff. And then when I got a little older, what really got me was, how, like I took boxing lessons and karate lessons and art classes and, wrestling. And it's just like when you grow up and you're a kid and your parents put you in basketball lessons, football lessons, put the girls in ballet dancing, knowing they're not gonna be no ballet dancers, but they put them in there anyway. Soccer classes, softball classes, whatever you can do. And I didn't want to be like Michael Jordan. I didn't want to be like Mike Tyson or even Michael Jackson. The first thing that intrigued me was this rendition of American Italian gangster life, and it was a guy named Michael Corleone. And when I saw Michael Corleone on the Godfather movie, the first thing came to my mind. I grew up in New Jersey and New York, and at that particular time, the mob was huge. So I didn't necessarily hang with the mobsters, but I was around the sons. So after school, after high school, I got out of school at 1:45, 2 o'clock, I delivered pizzas. So it was Antonio's Pizza Parlor, and then I was hanging with their son Massimo and Joe Monti, and Leo was there, and all of these different mixture of people. So when I saw it, I saw this character of the Michael Corleones, and not from a gay, don't get me wrong, not the gangster part of it, but what I loved about it, it was politics, but it was family first, power, politics, you know what I mean? And it gave you the strength to take care of your family and change the respect and the things that you do that can last for generations. That's what turned me on, and that was the beginning of me. First thing I said to myself, for a guy who, I knew who my father was, but he wasn't in my life, but I understood it at that time. So my mother taught me about our generation and how does a black man survive in some of our ups and downs and turmoils, and she let me know it was gonna be challenging. So when I saw this Michael Corleone Italian thing, the first thing I said is that, I'm gonna be the head of my family and I'm gonna do big business to make money, So the first thing you do is start the street hustle. So the street hustle is going down to the store. And when you go down to the store, you see people out there like a flea market. They selling oils, scarves, whatever they could find, you could sell. That was the neighborhood, urban neighborhood, black neighborhood thing. Whatever you find, sell. Whatever you steal, sell, right? To make the money. That was the neighborhood thing. Anybody could say it if you was there, it would sell. And then you got to a point where the skip is when the drug game came in. So, when drug dealing became such a big market in the 86, 85, 83, all the way up to maybe 98 even, where actually you would contain a certain amount of drugs and you'll chop it up, bag it up, and you put it on a block. But what some people don't understand, that is the beginning. I'm not saying this is what young black men need to do today, because that is not true. But we're saying at that particular time, you have to know what it was to get an 8-ball. And someone said, well, what's an 8-ball? That's 3.5 grams. And then you have a scale where you say you take 1 gram and cut it up to 4. And you can say, if you know an 8-ball costs you $125 for 3.5 grams, but 1 gram makes you 100. So if you sell 3 of those grams, you got $300 where something only cost you $125. You became a businessman right there. If you knew when the hot dog stands in New York City, when you used to go to a hot dog stand, 1 hot dog was $2. 1 hot dog could be $1. They went from $1 to $1.50 to $2. And then what they did is say, okay, this hot dog was $1, but with ketchup you get 25%. Ketchup and relish, it'll be $1.50. But then we didn't know that you could go to the store and buy a whole pack of hot dogs today for $1.98. So if you got 10 hot dogs for $1.98 plus your taxes, let's round it off to $2. With 10 hot dogs in there, you sell 10 hot dogs for $2 a hot dog. When something costs $2 and you making $20 off it, your percentage is almost 180%. You see, that's where the businessman came in. So we were always businessmen. So before we got into the music business, we knew that we could buy a package of 8 cassette tapes, which might have cost us $2, with 8 of them in there, and we could sell $5 for a mixtape that we got on and scratched up music. So $2 for a pack of 8 cassette tapes, and you have $5 to sell each one of them. You're making money. See? So, and that's where we came from. That's where our mind state was. We didn't know the difference between right or wrong. And from there, when I got into the music industry, I started thinking of things like, once again, selling hot dogs. You know, the music industry was a culture. It wasn't so much money when we started. So we loved doing it. So I was a DJ. So in my project building was Project 85. And in Project 85 in the basement, they let us have the basement on Saturday nights. And we used to charge them $2 just for them to get in the club, or $1 just to get in the basement. And we sitting there and we DJing, and we was like, wow, we got 50 people to 100 people at $200 coming into our basement to listen to us play music. And we got dressed up, and we looked good, and we walk away from the night, and we said, wow, we just made $250. Not thinking that our parents was going to work. At that time, making $10 an hour was a lot. You see what I'm saying? So how can you make $10 an hour now? If you make $10 an hour now and you work 8 hours a day, and most likely you work 8 hours a day, but you get an hour for lunch. That means you're only working 7 hours, so you make $70 a day. And we was making that a night. So if you're making $70 a day, 2 days is $140. 3 days is $210. So if we made $250 on one Saturday, did we make more than our parents made? Yes. Is that success? Yes, but we didn't know it back then. And then we took this hip-hop music and we turned it into a multi-billion-dollar culture that exists still to today. So my first record deal was $100,000 in maybe 97, 98. And man, I thought I was rich. $100,000 me, I could do anything in 97. You know what I mean? And then in 98, I made 150. And then in 2001, 2003, I made about 585,000. So and I bought my house. And I gave my son's mother an engagement ring. And a new house at that time. And my dream car, S-Class Mercedes, straight off the lot, 0 across the dashboard. You know what I mean? So is that success? My credit was enormous, incredible. I just used to put my driver's license down and just walk out the store with something. But then as I went on and I was buying things, I realized that my success wasn't driven off what I can get. It's what I can live for freedom and what I can leave behind for my generation and change the game of my family to come. Because you're gonna die with none of it. When you pass, you taking nothing with you. You don't know what your children are doing with it. So live the life that you can live in freedom, to do what you choose to do with the line drawn in the sand. And then at the same time, make sure that for those who love you, it doesn't always have to be your family. People say family. People say, you know, cousins, aunts, or whatever. It's not always family. Most of my closest people are my friends that I've been with for many, many years. And it's not just blood. It's just simple. I succeeded in that. I'm very successful. Some people in today's market say that they don't have any friends. I got some real friends, bro. Like literally, I have some real friends that I can call and discuss and understand the type of person I am and tell me whether I'm right or wrong, but still be there at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean? So I'm already successful and I'm already financially valuable in friendship.